Well, I didn't realize it until now, but apparently I forgot to record an intro. So here it is. We're going to work on the cottage. Yep, that thing right there, but we're going to be doing it on the inside. The farmer in.
Liddell.
The farmer in.
Liddell.
Hi-ho, da dirty do, the farmer in.
Liddell.
Sheesh. So I'm running some longer, a little bit girthier screws. I don't remember. It says they're 1 3/4 inches, but they're a little bit bigger around than a regular drywall screw too. Just to get this kind of hung up there, and then I'll use a regular drywall screw in between all of those. But yeah, putting the blocks helped. Kind of gets it up against there. Obviously the insulation's kind of sagging down a little bit because it's been up there for a couple days, but you got it all the way to that. But the blocks are down like probably another 1/2 inch or so, but that gets it to where it's kind of up there and you can sort of move it around. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be an extra pro tandem night. If you don't know what that is, message me. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna feel that later. Should I buy a drywall jack? Yeah, I probably should. For the 6 sheets that I'm gonna hang. Walls are no problem. This overhead is kind of a pain, literally. Ooh, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We are. Oh, great. I didn't have it all the way up right there, so now I gotta let all those down. Beep. Okay, if you look as this comes down right there, you see how it kind of dives? So I'm gonna have to get the oscillating saw up in there and kind of... Okay, all better. Now that plywood's cut straight up like that, so like as it comes down from the ceiling, it's basically cut at kind of a trapezoidal kind of thing, but that's okay, because the wall is gonna push up against it on both sides, and it's screwed in right there, so we're all right. We're overwrapping though a little bit down there. I'll have to shave that off a bit. Okay. Now I just got the thin strip, but whew, all the looking up, my neck is a bit sore. And I need something to drink. More water. All right, well, it's a different night, but we got some more insulation. And I got 4, well, technically 5, but those are 2 halves. So we'll say 4 rows of insulation done. And then right there, I got my stub outs done for the hot and cold. And then the drain for the kitchen sink. And then the little coily Q, yep, that right there is where there will be a light over the top of the sink. And that's what this, oh, sorry, that switch is for. That's an outlet. Silly guy. Sheesh. All right, well, it is the next day, and I'm going to be hanging more insulation, which you guys have already seen. That's kind of boring to film, so I'll get that done, then I'll bring you back. And then if we have time, we'll do more of the water lines, I hope. I'd like to get that tied in, but I don't think I have all the parts I need. The water heater did show up, so we can get that going. But that also means I need to build a little enclosure kind of thing, because it's going to go on the front of the tiny house, on the outside, because it's propane fired. And it's tiny in here, so we don't really have space to just hang it on a wall. You can't put it in a bathroom because that's a wet environment. But yeah, anyway. I'll do all the itchies, and then we'll get back, and I'll show you what we're doing next, but I'm not going to bore you with that, because you're just going to be watching my back, and you won't see anything other than me putting drywall? Insulation in. Drywall's after that, but not until the water check's done, and other layers, but we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so all the insulation that I have is hung. So now we're going to cut out for the outlet underneath the window and get this panel put on. I kind of got ahead of myself, and I had put these 2 panels on, and then I remembered I'm not recording anything, so I apologize, but here we go. All right then, we got a little chunk down there and then a big square up there. Yay. Okay, so this piece right here we're just using as a spacer because I don't want to do anything with this wall right here, because right in here somewhere we're going to have a gas line come up, propane line, because there's going to be a heater up yonder. So anyway, this is just a spacer so that I don't get this too tight. It's snug, but it's not too tight. That way we can, you know, slide this out and then slide another one, you know, back in when it's the whole piece. Anywho's, it's, here we go. I was checking to see where my power wire goes, and it's right in between those two. I'd like to say that I did that on purpose, but you know what I'm just now realizing though? From here to here, we don't have any support behind that because I forgot to put blockers in there. Dang it. In the corner with this, it's probably not going to be a huge deal. That's like maybe 20 inches. Okay, well, that's the reason I like screws better than nails. No point documenting an accident and then leaving it. Sheesh. Okay, so I need to get a piece of 2x4 to go in there, and then another little one to go on top of the wire, or I can notch out one if I find it long enough, but I'll be right back. Alrighty then, now I need about a 4 or 5 inch chunk. Reach back here. Now I can see where my gap is. Also make sure that I don't put a screw through the wire. Yep, that'll do. Workity dorkity do. So now this whole section is done. Well, okay, not done, because we obviously still need to do that. And then there's another big one up there. I got almost all of the big tall wall done. Just this little bit right here left. All right, well, we're gonna wrap this video up right there with that not done. I don't necessarily like leaving projects not quite finished, but it is dinner time, so I'm gonna head into the house. Thanks for coming by and seeing what we're all up to. Appreciate you taking the time to watch our content, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Share it with somebody that might be interested in doing something like this, or just needs a little encouragement to get out there, because you guys, you don't need to be a pro to do this. You just got to have the initiative. So we'll see you in about a week, and we'll get that put up, and then we'll start doing some other things on this little turkey. Have a good one. God bless.